If you follow me and you wonder why I'm not doing these cards right now, I'm going to do my best to explain. If I start doing the cards again, it'll be with more of a slant toward Ascension, toward getting us out of the 3D, because that's been my goal all along. I should say God's goal through me. I'm just a servant. And this channel's called Need This Message. Now, before I started doing the cards, when was that? It's been over a year now. And they took on a life of their own. But before that, I showed my face. I did what was called channeled messages. But on this channel, I used to do like crazy Bible theories, expository Bible videos, where I am spiritually, just like spiritual videos. Then all of a sudden it became the cards. The reason was I needed a way to just do quick videos, because when I just sit and channel, even the Bible theory stuff, it can go on forever. Like, it just never stops with me. And the past few months, there's just been so many downloads, so many things I feel like I need to say, but I'm going to have to figure out how to do it in small chunks. This gave me small, digestible, at least messages to get out. But when the cards start triggering me, that means it's time to move on. And there has been a big spiritual shift. Now, the past few months, I've actually... Look, I have complex PTSD, which I actually consider to be a blessing. And some of you know what that means. It means like mental things affect us physically. And especially me, like I have digestive issues because of it. Because not only do I have that, but I have a lot of scar tissue from 3 different abdominal surgeries. Now, I don't need anyone's help or advice about that. I'm only sharing that because it pertains to this, and maybe it'll help somebody. But I can't keep making myself sick to people please to make videos. And I know it probably doesn't seem like much. It probably seems like, well, it shouldn't be anything. It takes my mental energy, and when it starts triggering me, that means it's time to move on. Like the past few months, I have people pleased by doing these videos, and I didn't realize how many people were really watching. And what I might do is get to where it's just a couple videos a week. But honestly, the reason it's triggering me is because the main reason I came up with the cards, and like I said, it's God through me. This is stuff this is spirit. This is God channeled through me. It's not like I just came up with this. And in fact, I have been going against God. If I give in and say, oh yeah, I'm going to do these cards again, I am people pleasing for you. I am triggering myself for you. I am giving myself anxiety, making myself sick. I have ended up in the emergency room several times because my mind is processing, doing things it doesn't want to do. And why is that? Because spiritual shift, that's God's way of saying, get out of the flesh, go with the spirit. It's time for me to move on and do something else with the message. Now, I might go back to doing the cards at some point, but the reason is because, look, what happened here is I sit here every day, and like I said, this isn't me, because some people are going to be like, well, you know, we want this, we rely on you. Look, this is God, this is not me. We are all God. Do you realize that? That's the whole thing, is that's what these cards have proven to me. And there's a whole lot I want to say, but this video has already gotten longer than I expected. The cards, if nothing else, have proven to me that words are that powerful. Because do you know how many times I have shuffled this deck of cards, even in front of you, even on camera, and the words I was saying flew out of the deck? Now, you know what? People in the Christian community, evangelical Christians, and even me, because I used to be one of them. I'm not anymore. Now I'm a Gnostic believer, and that's what I'm going to be talking about here on this channel, is why those cards are effective. And like, again, I might go back to doing videos, but honestly, it's all words. It's not just these cards. It's not witchcraft. Here's what I was going to say. Evangelicals are going to say, oh, it's witchcraft, it's evil. I want to tell you what it is. And here's the hard truth a lot of people aren't ready, and I'm trying so hard with love, because my toxic trait, one of my toxic traits, is once I come to a revelation, once I realize something, I just think everybody else knows it, and I get mad at them for not knowing it. So once I realized this, I kind of got irritated. I'm like, am I the last one to know? Maybe not. Some of you already know this. Others do not. But look. Oh gosh, I'm getting sick just thinking about how many things I need to say. Oh gosh, so many spiritual downloads, okay? This, you know, magical power, if you want to call it that, of the cards flying out or certain things. Look, and let me tell you something else. When I was doing readings, and even when I was doing, like for a while there, for just a hot minute, going on 2 years ago now, when I was showing my face. Look, there's a point, I'm getting to a point here. I did like face-to-face booking readings just for a little bit. because it went sideways on me real quick. The reason I don't do the readings is because, now, maybe not according to everybody, but according to certain people, I'm really good enough that they would like move me into their house, and they had the money to do that. Let's not speak things into existence here. Let me just say that I have already, if you go to TikTok, go to my second pin post. You go to needthismessage.com, go to TikTok. You don't have to have TikTok. My second pin post will explain something. There's a word I can't say here, and it kind of stinks because it's something that's happening to all of us all the time. Now the word I can say is, have you been stuck in traffic lately? Because it's a different meaning in that sentence. But somebody did a bad thing to me a long time ago. I'm older than I look here. I know that I came back to this earth. My higher self on the other side came here to free people. And that's what I plan to do. Your words are powerful. It's not some magic. It's not witchcraft. It is the power in these words. I gotta do more videos because what I just told you. Go to my second pin post on TikTok. You're drawing in things with your thoughts. Why? Because you live in a magnetic universe, a spiritual magnetic universe. Your thoughts are so powerful because you have been tricked from birth into thinking this simulation's real. There's so much beyond that. And these cards, when I come on here every day and I see the comments from people and I'm like, dang it, my goal was to end with the manifestation deck and get you out of this, not get your thoughts, your consciousness. Yes, consciousness. You're just in an avatar. You're a light being. You're a spiritual being having a physical existence. And it's time to move your consciousness to the spiritual. This stuff like this keeps you trapped here. Keeps your consciousness trapped here because your mind gets focused on all this, and I don't want that for you, and neither does God. That's what God, it's not me, it's God, okay? We are all God. God's not out there, he's in you, and you were tricked. Already this video went in like 1,000 directions. Religion will tell you that it's magic, it's evil, occult. Occult means hidden. Now, over time, the word took on, this dark meaning, but really, when you hear about certain secret societies, they're doing stuff that could be used good or evil. And there's a whole lot more to that. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but so much I want to say. But like a few days ago, I put out a video where I talked about the King James Bible, about how King James translated the Bible into English and people started praying differently. They started looking for outside help instead of looking within and saying, I am healed. Instead, they started saying, looking outside to an outside source, please heal me. It's like, what's the significance of that? Well, a lot of the modern Bibles, pretty much all of them, go back to the King James. And it goes back to, I know there's two sets of scrolls, Antioch and Alexandrian, and there's also the Ethiopian Bible, there was the Geneva Bible. Look, I know, I've talked about it even here on this channel, but let me just back up here, okay? Let's just leave the Bible stuff where it is for a minute, and because this may be the last time you ever see me, and I want to just drop some information on you. Cards, not just them, but like the video I just told you about on TikTok. Look, a few years ago, I put out a video on TikTok. This is what the pin post is about. I very, very hesitantly put out a video on TikTok. And by the way, some people keep saying, I see people say that I look more confident. That's not the compliment you think it is. It kind of makes me feel bad about myself. It's like, oh wow, I didn't look confident before. Thank you. Anyway, that was a side note. This video I put out on TikTok, all it took was one negative comment and I deleted the video because I didn't want to put it out in the first place. I did, but I didn't. Like, I was scared. So I deleted the video. And this was about something that happened to me over 20 years earlier. Within a few minutes, I don't even know how long it was, the house where I lived, when that thing the house where I had lived 20 years earlier, where something really bad happened to me. I can laugh about it now because that house appeared as I'm scrolling TikTok. How many times has that happened to you? How many times have you been scrolling randomly? The internet, your feed, anything, and a place where you live currently or any other time in your life showed up in front of you randomly. Has that ever happened to you? Not only did that happen, I had just deleted a video about events that took place there. It didn't take place there exclusively, but that was a hub. And in the video that came across my feed were cops and U.S. Marshals taking a fugitive out of the house, the apartment where I used to live. And when that happened to me. That whole thing was completely unconnected. Like, it had nothing to do with me. It's a hard thing to talk about because it begs questions. People assume, like my first video I ever put out about it, and it blew up on TikTok on another account. I left out the part where the cops, all that was not connected to me at all. It had nothing to do with me. The cops in that town didn't help me at all. Many times. They had a bullhorn and everything and shouted out my street address number. That's not the only weird thing I have related to that. Anyway, I know I'm telling a long story, but what I'm trying to tell you is this is a simulation, a spiritual simulation. And the Bible has one part of the story. There's so much. And don't limit yourself to the Bible. And if I'm talking to you, look, you may be seeing this for a reason, because I know a lot of people are questioning. I know I did. Jesus is real. Okay, one last thing I want to drop on you before you go. Because something that tricked me, because I had to come to Jesus. I got saved. I had a very supernatural experience that told me that Jesus is real. All I'm going to say is I have learned, and I believe this to be true, and I can talk about it in another video. It's like, the whole thing is, the reason people cling to the Bible so much, one of the arguments, because I dug deep. Like, when I got saved, I went whole hog and learned everything. Give an answer in defense of my faith. Yeah, oh yeah, I did. But that didn't prove anything. What I was lied to about the origins of the Bible. I was lied to about why the Gnostic texts were removed. By the way, King James, the man who, a lot of this goes back to, not just him, Constantine, Council of Nicaea, the whole thing. And you can look into it if you want. You can Google a whole lot about this. King James was also obsessed with demonology. His biggest published books were demon books. So yeah, he had a big stake in, manipulating the Bible, putting certain images on our head. But here's what I'm getting back to. Yes, Jesus, how could Jesus be a man, but also a Kundalini awakening? That means you go inside. That means inner knowledge. That's the hidden knowledge that was taken out of the Bible. And someone told me a long time ago, like, did you know King Solomon fell away? Like, he was the wisest man and all this. And especially because, the fundamental Baptists, look, I learned that Gnosticism was the worst thing ever. That's what happened to King Solomon. He became Gnostic. What do you think happened to Elijah? What do you think is going on in the book of Jude? Like, a lot of things were left there to inform us, like the book of James. The book of James almost didn't make it into the canon of the Bible. And not to be confused with King James. James in the Bible is James, the brother of Jesus. King James is somebody else. The biggest publisher in the land, the first person to translate the Bible into English in centuries, because it had been illegal. Well, this goes back to a discussion of the Roman Catholic Church, which I know all those conspiracies too, the Jesuits. Gosh, I'm just going on so many tangents. Do you see why I can't do card readings right now? The best thing you can do, instead of looking outside, look, and card readings are going to tell you what you want to hear, or they're going to guide your intuition, one or the other, but you're going to draw it in with your mind, okay? Because we live in a magnetic universe. Magnetic, spiritual universe. Your mind, the magnet, oh my gosh. All this stuff, like talking about praying to certain gods, it's all in the simulation. I'm just all over the place still. How could Jesus be a real person and a Kundalini awakening at the same time? How could he be this thing that's supposed to snake up your spine? That's supposed to be... Look, I know I'm hopping around. I'm sorry. The reason Jesus can be a person... Yes, Jesus did come in the flesh. Arguably several times. Because this is a simulation. Because Jesus was meant to try to be a word picture to really show us how it works. But manipulation... The best thing I can tell you, instead of going outside, instead of going for card readings, which you can if you want, that's fine, but know what you're really getting yourself into, okay? And I'm not trying to bash card readers. Oh my gosh. I wish I could still do them. I would if I could. You may still need them. Some of you may still need them. I'm just saying this brain right here is going somewhere else right now. The best thing you can do is meditate. Go quiet. That's where God lives. Go quiet. Listen to some music to drown out anything external if you can. Go quiet. Close your eyes if you can. If it's triggering for some reason to close your eyes, just try to get dark. Whatever doesn't trigger you, but go quiet someplace. Drown out your senses. You know why? Because your senses, your emotions, you're seeing everything going on in your mind is your consciousness. Okay? That's what consciousness is. And like in the Bible, they completely skewed it. Like they reduced it down to like heart and mind is the same thing. Anyway. Oh, evil. And also the word Lord is a reference to Baal. I'm sorry. I know some people aren't ready to hear that, but some of you are, and I'm just going to have to just go with the ones who are. I didn't know that either. And I'm saying this out of love. May this find you the right people when it's supposed to find you. It doesn't matter what you learned in seminary. I don't care what you know about, what Bible verse you can quote. It doesn't even matter. I can quote all that stuff too. I can quote different versions of it. Book of Mormon, the Vulgate. I mean, the New World Translation. I mean, I know all the arguments. It doesn't mean anything. What it means is the people, the secret societies wanted us to get our thoughts tangled up in learning scripture like the wrong way. Go within. And you might think, well, why should I listen to you? If I shouldn't listen to them, why should I listen to you? Because I'm telling you to listen to you. Go within. All this stuff that, what's this going to happen? Is he going to leave me? Is he going to come back? Is she going to take the kids? I mean, I get so many comments and I'm so sad. It makes me sad and it hurts me because the best way, look, this isn't some woo-woo, crazy, stupid, spiritual out there stuff. You can change your mind like that because you can change your environment like that. I learned it the hard way several times. Like when I started changing my thoughts, my environment started changing in ways I can't even describe. I want you to train your mind to spend a few minutes, even as a fictional character, imagining the situation over. Just imagine a second of your life. Like if you're thinking, like let's say you're worried about running late for work. You know what you can do? Just spend a few seconds. Try to do as long as possible. I think 17 seconds. I've heard 17 seconds and I've heard 17 minutes. But anyway, 17 seconds. Have a daydream of you just sitting at your desk at work or whatever, wherever it is you work, just sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, but make sure you're moving around and talking and using all senses. Do it in a fictional character. Yeah. That's how I manifested things. That's how Jesus was really telling us to pray. That's why, look at the law of assumption. Neville Goddard says it. It's like in Zechariah. It says, don't even imagine evil against your neighbor. Why would you imagine? Why does the Bible say anything about imagining anything? Because that's how you manipulate energy. That's what was taken out of the Bible. And when I say energy, I mean you are living in the energy. Like whether you want to participate or not. Your words, spoken, written in here, along with your intent and your belief, they're all powerful. A welcome mat welcomes things into your house. Yeah, it's like you're playing a game. You are playing a game. And I know it's real because it feels real, right? And people take it the wrong way. They think it means you're denying things are happening here. No. I'm trying to tell you things are actually happening on a deeper spiritual level than what you realize. What do you think it means to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord? And your life could end in a moment. What happens? Look at some near-death experience videos. People who didn't believe in anything and then have a near-death experience. Your consciousness goes somewhere. You are consciousness that doesn't die. If you just train your mind to spend a few minutes, go dark in your mind. I'm going to start doing it myself because I've done it. I have seen my world change and shift, and I'm going to start doing it over social media. We need to start imagining the new earth together because it takes 10% of the population to believe something into existence for all of us. Anyway, this rambling video is why I can't do cards. I can't do cards right now, but maybe I'm going to try later. I might try soon and see what happens. It's time to start imagining, you guys. Even if it's a daydream, the world's going to tell you, oh, it's maladaptive daydreaming. No. Meditate. Just spend some focused time meditating. All five senses, add in the other two, vestibular and proprioception. That means, I'm talking like transfer your full avatar, your full consciousness to another fictional character. That's how I manifested things writing fiction by accident. And I wish I could tell you what I manifested, but I don't want to talk about it because it was bad. I should have done better. And now I have this power over social media and I'm going to use it wisely. I'm not going I'm going to use it to help us ascend and to help you make your life better. And that means you're going to have to start daydreaming. And I'm not even joking. The most loving thing I can tell you is stop looking to readers for what's going to happen. Go quiet right now immediately and imagine your outcome. Imagine it. Just all of your senses. Just imagine it. Imagine a scene where you're saying, oh, I'm so grateful this worked out for me. That's how the law of assumption works. That's what Jesus was trying to tell us. Anyway, I care about you. I care about you too much to keep doing those readings, to keep your mind trapped where it is. Your intuition is strong. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.